I'm wrapping up this letter that I wrote you. Maybe it's the only way to go through. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. Though it hurts, I only wish you blessings. When intuition talks, you gotta listen. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. 'Cause you build me up to break me down. Never respect the love you found. And I had a voice inside the back of my mind. I always knew it deep down. You don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh, no looking back this time. 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 Running from the truth was getting reckless. In your arms I never felt protected. Oh. 'Cause you don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry.
Afternoon. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the KMAC channel. Hope you're all well today. This one, I've got quite a few things I want to cover. I want to do a preview to the PSV game. I know it's not in the actual thumbnail, but I do want to do a preview to the game. I also want to look at set pieces. I also want to have a look at some of our managers, some of our management, behind the scenes management. I also want to have a look at some of the latest news, some of the managerial news that's knocking around. I also wanted to look at 4 managers in a bit more detail who could potentially replace Arnie. Yeah, big up on Pond Life. I also want to have a look at Eddie Howe as well. There's a lot to like about Eddie Howe. There's a lot to like about a couple of other managers, which I'm not going to talk about right now. I want to leave that one for when we talk about it in like the next half hour or so. Also, some of the news around other information around Liverpool. It's going to be an interesting show, if I'm completely honest. I did want to do a preview of the PSV game as an actual video, but I'm just really busy this week. So I wanted to get it kind of in this show, and then we can then move on to all the other stuff I want to cover. By the way, 40 of you in here already. Hopefully, algorithm's kicking off better now. Also, thank you so much if you've subscribed recently. Getting new subscribers is brilliant, but getting new subscribers off the back of us being so bad feels quite bad, if I'm completely honest. Like, I loved growing the channel when we were doing well and when we were signing loads of players. That was great. But like the channel growing again when we're doing badly, it feels like I'm taking advantage of a bad situation, which I don't want to be. Like, I just don't want to be. Like, I want to do Liverpool content all the time, whether we're good or bad or whatever. Like, I went on Footy Judge Mo's channel yesterday and just sat there and took it while the Arsenal fans and everybody else was just laying in, and I'm just sat there like, okay. Like, you have to show your face no matter what, whether your club's doing bad or not. And right now we're doing bad and we're in the mud, and I'm having to show up on other channels because that's the nature of the beast. You can't just go live when it's good and then disappear when it's bad. That's not how it works. You have to be there all through it. So I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'm not going to do a rant. I've done quite a few rants now. I'm not going to do a rant. We're also going to look at him as well. There's a lot to like about him. So what would you like me to cover to start off with? I'll leave it with you. Do you want me to do the news and the manager stuff first, or do you want me to do the match preview and then that stuff at the end? Let me know in the chat. Okay. Do you want the match preview now to get that out the way, or do you want me to do all the news and the managerial stuff and the set piece stuff now? Let me know. Yeah, I know, Gary. I know. What would you like me to cover? This is out to you, chat. Do you want me to do the match preview first, or do you want me to do the news? You want me to do the news? Anybody else want me to do the news first? Does anyone else want me to do the news first, or do you want me to do the preview? Manager stuff, okay. All right. Okay, so first of all, a couple of things I wanted to cover. Okay, so this news, okay, everybody wants me to do the news. Okay, fine, we'll do the news first, and then we'll do the preview later. Okay. Right, so a couple of things I wanted to cover is I wanted to cover the latest news. Yeah, and it's always interesting to start off with IndyCar, okay? Because IndyCar comes up with some quite interesting stuff about Liverpool. So a couple of the latest things from IndyCar is Arnie Slot's currently still has the full backing of the Fenway Sports Group, but there are rumours that FSG thinks former manager Jurgen Klopp might be open to a sensational return. That's from IndyCar. What's really interesting is Michael Edwards is linked to the Ajax technical director's role. Now, the reason why I say this one is Jurgen isn't going to come back to Liverpool if Michael Edwards is there. That's just a fact, okay? That is not going to happen, okay? Jurgen isn't going to come to Liverpool if Michael Edwards is there. They aren't going to work together again, okay? That is something which we all know isn't going to happen because Michael Edwards left in the first place because Jurgen was blocking stuff and Jurgen was basically wanted to be in control of more of Liverpool. And he got his way and we know what happened. Yeah, the rest is history. So those two are going to work together. So it's interesting that Michael Edwards is linked to Ajax and the potential return of Jurgen to Liverpool. Just bear that one in mind. And the reason why I say that is because of this. The betting odds are 52% in the last 24 hours that Jurgen Klopp could come back to Liverpool, with 7% Steven Gerrard. These are just the betting odds. We all know that betting is what it is, but it's the fact that there are odds there that Jurgen could return. That's all I'm saying. And the odds are 5-1 that the next manager to be sacked is going to be Arne Slot. Okay? I'm just giving you some information. That's all. Okay? So it doesn't bode well in those two instances. Both could be right, both could be wrong. You know, it is what it is. Also, Xabi Alonso, the speculation that Xabi Alonso would be ready to step into the Anfield hot seat if it became available. There are two players. One of them is reportedly Vinicius Jr. at Real Madrid that want Xabi Alonso to leave. The other one, rumoured, is potentially Valverde. That's the rumours. There's already been a falling out with a number of players in Xabi Alonso because they don't fit his style. And they don't fucking work hard enough. Like, if you don't work hard enough, then Xabi Alonso is going to be pissed at you. And the interesting thing is, if he comes to Liverpool, there's going to be a monumental shift in how Liverpool play and how Liverpool players react to him being there, because he's not going to take any shit. Like, Cody Gakpo isn't winning 50-50s and McAllister's pulling out of tackles, then you're going to see yourself sold or on the bench very quickly. Like, very quickly. So I just want to put that one out there. And there's a lot of Liverpool fans that are like, get me Xabi Alonso now, get me Xabi Alonso now. I'm sorry, but I just don't see Alonso working at Liverpool instantly. I see that one taking time as well. I see there being a process which you may have to feel a bit of pain for a year before Xabi Alonso works. I would like to see Liverpool go to a back three. I would like to see Liverpool go to a back three, because right now we are just open season. Like there's no defensive structure, and there hasn't been for years. By the way, this isn't. I'm not laying this one just to Slot's door. This isn't just getting laid on Slot. Like, Liverpool have been a mess defensively for a number of years. Like, a number of years. Like, we've conceded a goal first. We conceded a goal first in 19 games last season under Slot. It was more under Jurgen. The season before. So just let that one sink in. This isn't a case of, oh, you know what? This just happened under Slot. No, it didn't. There was the season before last, before we got Slot. There was only one team that conceded goals first, more than us, in the Premier League, and that was Sheffield United. Like, we were so bad at going a goal down. But the difference is, you went a goal down under Jurgen, the team believed that they could still win the game. You go a goal down under Slot now, and the team don't believe they can win. All the confidence is gone. They haven't got any idea that they can get back into a game. Backroom staff. This is Liverpool again. Assistant Giovanni Van Bronckhorst is reportedly a candidate for the Indonesian national job, and Liverpool would not block an approach for his services. Also, training changes following the poor performance against Nottingham Forest. Liverpool are now intent on playing an attackers versus defenders training sessions, and they're planning to use Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk as the new defensive pairing. Don't be surprised if the PSV game, Virgil and Gomez start. Don't be surprised. And I will also bring this up, which is an interesting factor that I didn't really think of, but it is. In 12 games, Konate's been brought off 5 times. 41.6% of league appearances this season, Konate's been subbed. Okay, I just want to put that one out there. All right, I just want to put that one out there. The Konate's been getting dragged off on a regular basis, but he still starts every game, which is wild. But it is what it is. Transfer news. Richard Hughes is in direct negotiations with Bournemouth winger Antonio Semenyo. He's keen for Champions League football. The only thing that's going to stop Semenyo from coming to Liverpool now is Arsenal. Basically, that's it for me. I think it's Arsenal. If Arsenal say, "Look, we're interested," just like they did with Eze, I think Semenyo goes to Arsenal, and there's a good chance he could go to Arsenal. By the way, there's a very good chance. They've got Trossard, they've got Martinelli, they've got at least 3 or 4 players that they're willing to sell, who are wide players. Because they were willing to sell Trossard, they were willing to sell Martinelli last season. So if any of those went, then Semenyo's got a space. And right now, I think Arteta will probably get a better job out of him than Slot. Real Madrid are also reportedly interested in signing Dominic Szoboszlai and are willing to double his current salary. Not going to lie, the way we're carrying on, Szoboszlai is not going to be at Liverpool next season. If we carry on the way we are, then Dominic Szoboszlai will not sign a new deal and he will transfer to another club next season. 100%. 100%. I mean, the fact that your manager comes out and takes the piss out of you in a press conference and says, "Oh, Dominic Szoboszlai is used to losing, so that's the reason why he lost in the Hungary game, so he's used to losing at Liverpool." Like you're openly mocking your best player. Your best player. If it wasn't for Dominic Szoboszlai this season, we'd be in relegation. Like the guy's doing 3 people's jobs in most games. and you can say what you want about Dominic Szoboszlai, like whether he's a right back or not. He played pretty well in the Notts Forest game. Most of the game he played well as a right back, and then he got put as a left-sided centre back at one stage. Yeah, but openly taking the mick out of him in a press conference is just crass. It's utter crass. An account also reported that Bayern Munich's honorary president, Uli Hoeneß, believes Jurgen Klopp will return to management soon. And there's also reports that Liverpool have now formally approached Julian Nagelsmann. It's there. He's managing the German team, and they're looking like they're going to be really good in the World Cup. By the way, so the next things I want to cover is set pieces. Okay, this is a real piss boiler for me. This really does boil my piss right now. Is the set piece situation with Liverpool? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. This might not show up very well. Actually, if I get rid of the chat, sorry, just going to get rid of the chat for a sec. Big old Christian. It's okay. Yeah, great. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk a little bit about set pieces. show you some info. I've also got some funnies as well. Actually, there's a good point. I've got some funny jokes about Liverpool, which I'm going to bring up, some funny memes, because like, what can we do? Like, what can we do? We can't all be depressed, so let's have a little bit of joke about it as well, how bad we are. So I've got some funny memes to bring up after the set pieces, okay? But the first thing I want to show you is this, which nobody's talking about. Okay, nobody's talking about this, so I will. Right, Aaron Briggs. Everybody's talking about set piece coach, set piece shit, set piece Liverpool, blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay. Let me just break this down, because I've done the research, so nobody else had to. Aaron Briggs was transitioned from the role of individual development coach to the full-time position of set piece coach in September 2025. Aaron Briggs is not a set piece coach. Okay? Let me make that perfectly clear. He did not move as a set piece coach into a set piece role. He's never been one. Okay? He wasn't the set piece coach at Liverpool. He was the individual development coach. Okay? At Liverpool. First point. Second point, we then appointed Lewis Mahoney as the first team set piece analysis, working alongside the set piece coach Aaron Briggs. Okay, so you've now got a guy who's a set piece analysis moving into a role to work with Aaron Briggs, who isn't a set piece coach. He isn't. He was the development coach. Now, this is the part which boils my piss. We signed Lewis Mahoney from a relegated Southampton. Let me just say that again. We signed Lewis Mahoney from a relegated Southampton. They had the worst record in the Premier League ever as a team that came up and went back down. And we signed him. What was his fucking CV showing you, mate? Like, seriously, what was his CV? What out of his CV jumped out at you to make you go, you know what? This Lewis guy, he's absolutely amazing for the relegated Southampton, who've broken all the crap records of going down. Like, why are you signing this bum from Southampton? I'm sorry, like, he might be a nice guy, but why are you signing some bum from Southampton who got relegated with them? Like, why aren't you going and getting, I don't know, someone fucking good? like you went and got the goalkeeping coach from West Ham. Why didn't you go and get the set piece coach from West Ham? Like, why didn't you go and get the set piece coach from, I don't know, Burnley, Nottingham Forest? Like, someone who does a lot of set pieces. Someone who does a lot of set pieces, yeah? Southampton, garbage. You took him. Give your heads a wobble. That one boils my piss. That boils my piss. Okay? Next one. While we're here, I promised I wouldn't rant. Next one, set piece statistics. Yeah? Let's have a look at this. Okay. Let's have a look at this. We've conceded 9 set-piece goals this season. 9 set-piece goals this season we've conceded, okay? We've conceded 20 goals. We've nearly conceded 50% of our goals from set pieces this season. Let me just say that again. We conceded 50% of our goals this season from set pieces. Is my mic okay now? Hang on, let me. Again. Is my mic okay now? Give me a thumbs up. Mic okay? Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Is it okay? Is it okay? Is it okay? All right. So nine goals conceded, set pieces this season. The whole of last season, we only conceded 9. So we've already conceded the same amount as the whole of last season this season. Already. And we've only scored 2. So you can talk about set pieces going defensively bad, but now we're talking about set pieces offensively bad. So we've only scored 2 this season, and we've conceded 9 this season. Absolutely woeful. Just woeful. Like really, really bad. All right. Next. Set piece statistics in 2025. How many have we faced? How many set pieces have we actually faced? Yeah. So we've conceded 9. Yeah. We've actually had 70 set pieces faced. So out of having 70 set pieces against us, we've conceded 9 goals. Like, I don't think people understand how bad that is. Like, genuinely how bad that is. So 70 set pieces have been thrown against us in 12 games. Okay? So if we just divide it, for example, yeah. So we just divide 70 by 12, we are conceding 5.8 set pieces per game. Say we concede 6 set pieces per game. Yeah. So say we concede 6 set pieces per game. Yeah. You're then going to divide that by 9. We concede a goal every 1.3 games from a set piece. Just let that sink in. Genuinely, just let that one sink in. Okay, so every let me work it out like this. Okay, so every 90 minutes plus a first half of the next game, Liverpool would have conceded a goal from a set piece on average. It's the highest in the league. It's the highest in the Premier League this year by a country mile. That's how bad we are. This is an epidemic. This isn't a blip. This is a full-blown failure at the club. From the training ground onto the pitch. Like, I genuinely don't know how to make this any more serious than it is. Like, this is fundamentally one of the biggest problems at Liverpool right now. Like, and I've talked about loads of other things, but I was looking at, like, okay, so say you work for a company, yeah, and you go into a role and they go, look, this, and this, and this isn't working, yeah, and there's like 5 things that need to be fixed, yeah. I need you to find out which one can be fixed the quickest, yeah, and which one would be the most effective as a first fix, yeah, as a problem that you can fix straight away. Well, this is the problem straight away. This is the easiest fixable problem straight away, and this would also save us a hell of a lot in games. straight away, because we talk about Liverpool going behind in games, like, more than anybody else. Like, we spend more time behind in games, game state, than any other team in the Premier League, apart from West Ham, I think. Maybe West Ham and Wolves. But it might actually be more now. So if you look at it like that, yeah, we spend more time behind in games than anybody else, for example. Yeah. We concede a goal from a set piece every 1.3 games. So every, 120 minutes. Yeah, every 120 minutes we play football, we concede a goal from a set piece. Yeah. If you can stop that, then you are helping yourself hugely on the pitch. Hugely on the pitch. You're helping yourself so much by cutting out losing a goal on a set piece. Okay? So I'm sat there thinking, how do we make things a little bit easier for ourselves? Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to stop conceding set pieces, because 50% of the goals you've conceded this season in the Premier League have been from set pieces. So you need to stop that. Okay? Right now we concede about 6.8 set pieces per game. How do we stop that? First of all, stop fucking fouling players. Stop fouling players needlessly in the area where the set piece can cause a problem. So you've got 3 touch points where you could actually be better as Liverpool. First one, stop fouling players in areas where the set piece can actually cause you a problem. We don't do that. Gravenberch, McAllister, Curtis Jones, Dominic Szoboszlai, Mo Salah, Cody Hapko, they all foul players consistently in areas where it's bad. Robbo does it. Kirkes does it. They all do it. So nip that in the bud. Get that sorted so players stay on their feet. Stay on your feet. Do not go to ground. Do not contact players in areas where they can fall over and they'll get a free kick. Stop doing that. Secondly, stop kicking the ball out needlessly for corners and throw-ins. How many goals have we conceded off a pointless corner or a pointless throw-in? So many. So many. Use the goalkeeper more. Use the goalkeeper more. If we've got Alisson back, use Alisson more, because he's really good with his feet. So instead of going to the left back or the right back in a situation where you're pinned in, put it back to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper can go long. You've already negated 2 things there out of the 3, which could really help you. And secondly, fall over yourself. Start trying to get fouls yourself. Yeah, instead of the opposition always getting fouls against us. Yeah, do it the other way around. Do it the other way around. Stand up, be a man, take it on the chin, and then fall over. So many of our players do not win their 50-50s in games. Jamie Carragher did a Monday Night Football where he showed it was the Manchester City game and it was a Nottingham Forest game, and we lost 6 50-50 tackles on the way to both their goals. The first goal for Man City and the first goal for Nottingham Forest. We lost 6 50-50s in the attack and in the middle of the park because we didn't tackle. We didn't put a foot in enough. We weren't enthusiastic enough. And sometimes we overcommitted. We ran and they ran past us. So mitigating circumstances. How do you stick a bandage on a bullet wound where the blood's pouring out? Well, this is a bandage right now. Set pieces is a bandage. Stop the set pieces, stick a bandage on it. At least you're going to stop conceding goals to a certain extent. Because we conceded a goal against Nottingham Forest. from a corner. And the corner was given away by Canate. But it also, there was a fundamental flaw with Curtis Jones and Dominic Szoboszlai. None of them got to grips with it, and it ended up getting kicked out for a corner by Canate. Needlessly. But if we're not good at winning the set piece, because we signed some bum from Southampton, and we've also given the development coach a set piece coach role when he's not qualified, basically, then what do you expect? Well, the only thing you can do is stop the set piece from happening. So small steps, small solution. Small steps, small solution. That's all I'm saying. Get back to basics and stop those three things from happening, so you stop conceding a set piece. Because 50% of the time it's going to go in. Like, that's just wild. Like, 50% of your goals you've conceded this season are from set pieces. Like, are you having a laugh? Like, nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it like they should. But the opposition are going for set pieces. They've tried 70 times and they've been successful in 9 of them. Wild numbers. Okay. That's my bit over with for set pieces. Next thing we'll talk about is managers. Right. I want a new manager because Arne Slot is not good enough. Okay. Respect you winning the league last season. Like, you were a genius in games. You were brilliant off the pitch. Like, you did a fantastic job and you won us the league. But what have you done for me lately? In 2025, you've been shit. Simple as that. Sorry. You've been shit. You've been shit off the pitch. You've been shit on the pitch. You've not been able to get any of our new players to work. You've completely took away our DNA. Like, Virgil van Dijk's now screaming, like literally screaming in corridors now. Like, that's not Virgil van Dijk's personality at all. So you're now flexing the personality out of the leader. You've turned Mo Salah into a road runner who basically plays like a linesman, which is awful. You've decreased the value of all of our signings. Like, if we tried to sell Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak, they'd be 30 million cheaper now. So you're affecting the value of our players now. You're now pulling up records which are just stinky, like just so stinky. Like, Alexander Isak doesn't deserve what he's getting at Liverpool right now. Like, he got hate at bloody Newcastle. He certainly doesn't need it at Liverpool. So take him out the firing line, put him on the bench now for a couple of games. Like, just play Ekitike. Like, so for me, get me a new guy. Okay. Who can come in to Liverpool right now and make a difference? Right now, and be able to get us working again quickly and fast. There's a lot of people talking about Jurgen. Jurgen probably could, because he's used to the players. So he could go in there and basically stabilize it, because he still has Bradley, still has Robbo, still has Alisson, still has Virgil, still has Canate, still has Max, still has Gravenberch, still has Szoboszlai, still has Cody, even though he did do really badly with Cody. Still has Salah. He's got Isak, he's got Ekitike, and he's got Wirtz, and also Frimpong. Jurgen wouldn't get the best out of Frimpong. Jurgen wouldn't get the best out of Cody because he didn't last time. I don't think he'd get the best out of Gravenberch because he didn't last time. I think Mac's done, so I don't think he'd make Mac work any better. He might be able to get Ekitike and Isak firing, and I've definitely got hopes in him sorting Wirtz out, and definitely Kerkez. He'd get Kerkez working. He wouldn't have Pep and Linders there, so he probably wouldn't revert to inverted. He would probably go back to 4-3-3 Gegenpress, because that's his That's his go-to. And I would assume that Jurgen would go straight back to basics because he would just want to stabilize what we've got, which is when he came in from Brendan, that's what he did. He came in and just made us more compact. So Jurgen would work to a certain extent, but we wouldn't have Edwards anymore, which means we probably wouldn't have Hughes. So I don't know how the dynamics would go. So I'm ruling that one out for now, and I'm looking at other managers. So the 4 that I'm picking is Nagelsmann, Eddie Howe, Oliver Glasner, and Roberto De Zerbi. And they're the 4 I'm going to talk about, okay? So whether you agree with me or not, I'm still going to talk about these 4 because these 4, for me, suit what we have squad-wise, what we have players that have played a certain type of formation, and also I think they've got the caliber. Like, I genuinely think they've got the caliber. Some of them deserve a chance at a big club, and Liverpool are a big club. And look, I gave you the list of the top 25 managers, and we got to 19 with one that we might be able to get because all the others are all settled and they're all in clubs. And we're not going to pull them away from a big club in January. It's not going to happen. And quite frankly, there's a lot of them that I just don't want. Like, they're washed up. Like, they've been around the block. I don't want them. Enrique's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. He's still got a 2-year contract at PSG, and he's literally just rebuilt them. He's just rebuilt them. Never going to happen. Right. So let's have a look at some of the managers. Okay. So the first one we're going to look at Julian Nagelsmann. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen because I'm just doing a search. Okay. So you can just have a look. I'm not going into major detail or data. This is just a brief overview because I haven't planned like a deep dive into all of these guys. But we can look at these. I don't know why it's not. Why isn't it bringing up the screen? Sorry, 2 seconds. Image share. Not working? Yeah, okay, cool. Right, so let's have a look at Nagelsmann. Okay, so moving the chat away again. So Nagelsmann's had a career of 416 games. So he's a fair amount of games under his belt. 237 wins and 84 losses. So he's got a win rate of 57%. It's pretty good. Like, I'm not going to lie, that's a pretty good win rate. And he plays with a 4-2-3-1, which suits what we play. Yeah? But he plays with 2 defensive pivots. Yeah? Right now, we don't have defensive pivots. We just don't. Okay? Tactically wise, his mentality is positive mentally with a focus on balancing attack and defense. Something we don't have right now. We don't have a balance of attack and defense. We have an attack and we have no defense. Okay? That's pretty much what we have. Attacking utilizes the fairly wide play style, often using overlaps on the flanks and playing shorter passes to retain possession. Something we are crying out for right now. We are crying out for overlapping players, which we don't use. We don't use them. Employs a high press and a mid block to close the centre. We use a high press, but we don't use a mid block because we don't have a midfield. Forcing the opposition wide. We don't force the opposition wide. That would help. Relies on counter pressing and quick distribution to launch attacks. We don't launch quick attacks. Everything's slow and laborious, and it's really boring. Okay. What I wanted to talk about is I want to talk about Bayern Munich because his Bayern Munich career was phenomenal. 71% win rate. It was very, very high at Bayern. Okay. This was also while Xabi Alonso was there. Xabi Alonso was there, by the way. Glasner was there. Hoynes was there. There were some big managers in the German league that season. He was appointed the German coach in 2023, become the youngest ever coach to manage in a final tournament in the UEFA European Championships. Hoffenheim, 136 games with 1.53 points per game average, and RB Leipzig, 95 games with 1.94 points per average. Okay. Bit more about Nagelsmann. Okay. So, where's the info I wanted to bring up about Nagelsmann? Where is it? Here. Okay, so now looking at SofaScore. Okay, so I'm now looking at SofaScore, but I'm going to go to his actual career. Hang on, so Nagelsmann's. Okay, so something I wanted to point out about Nagelsmann. Nagelsmann is 38 years old. He's 38 years old. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to point out. He's 38 years old. He's got 417 games under his belt and he's 38. That is absolutely mind-boggling. Like, seriously. Germany. We'll talk about Bayern Munich, yeah? Bayern Munich, 84 games, 60 points. 60 wins, 14 draws and 10 losses at Bayern Munich. RB Leipzig, 95 games, more than Bayern Munich, 54 wins, 22 draws, 19 losses. And this is what I wanted to mention about him. Nagelman's okay with drawing a game. Nagelsmann hasn't got a problem with getting a draw. It's clearly obvious that he will take a draw if he knows he can't win. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with picking up points no matter what. Like, I'm cool with picking up points. And I understand that, like, the elite always want to win. But sometimes you just have to go, you know what? We didn't deserve anything in this game, but we've got a draw. I'm out of here. Let's regroup. Let's regroup next week. And I think that's needed right now. I think we should start taking some draws right now, just to get back on the back in the I don't know, back in the seat, like whatever you want to call it. But he's 38 years old. Like, he's got a huge amount of time to develop. But he's already had 417 matches. I think that is one which we should definitely kick the tires on and look at that one in more detail. And I'm not going to bring up how many goals his teams have scored and all that stuff. There's no point. But his formation is 4-2-3-1. Don't think our players have a problem playing that. And by the way, the three in the attack, the wide left player is Florian Wirtz. It's Florian Wirtz. You don't think Nagelsmann would be able to get the best out of Wirtz? Puh. You know he'd get the best out of Wirtz. Okay, next manager, Eddie Howe. And look, I've had pelters on numerous channels for talking about Eddie Howe. The guy has managed 735 games. He is vastly experienced. 330 wins, 270 draws, 260 losses. And I get it. Look, I get it. He's lost a lot of games. I get it. But you have to look at the context here. You have to look at this in context. Okay? his Bournemouth career, 102 games, and then went back and then did 355 games and took Bournemouth from 0 all the way into the Premier League. Okay. He was also at Burnley. I can't even remember the Burnley, but he was at Burnley. I didn't even remember he was at Burnley, but he was. Newcastle United, 168 games. He's been awarded the Premier League Manager of the Month award 5 times, and he's also won the League Cup. Other points to note: formation 4-3-3. It's his bread and butter. Mentality positive, in possession, attacking, width narrower. Works well for Salah. It'd work well for Wirtz. Passing shorter, playing out of the back. Tempo higher. What do we need right now? We need a higher tempo. That's what we need right now. Transition, counter press, and counter attack. Out of possession, high line, and prevents short goalkeeper distribution, which means he sends his attackers up to stop the goalie from kicking it. A little bit more about him. Bring up SofaScore. Okay, Eddie Howe, 47 years old. Hang on. 47 years old, bringing up the numbers. 191 games for Newcastle, 100 wins, 36 draws, 55 losses. Bournemouth, 144 wins, 75 draws, 136 losses. Remember, that's from 2012 to 2020. That's 8 years. That's an 8-year stint at Bournemouth. That's not that dissimilar from Jurgen. And he got Bournemouth from nothing into the Premier League and also got them into Europe. Burnley, 86 games, 35 wins, 17 draws, 34 losses, and Bournemouth, 102 games, 51. That was the first stint at Bournemouth. So he's done 11 years at Bournemouth. For me, Eddie Howe ticks a lot of boxes. He really does. Points to note on Eddie Howe. Turned Isaac into a superstar who we've now got. That would work. Plays his left back and his right back like we want to play our left back and right back. Has one of the best midfields in the Premier League. Really combative, really strong team. Also, just beat Manchester City. Beat Liverpool in the cup final last season. Knows how to beat Arsenal. Knows how to beat most teams. That loss rate, I believe. Let me have a look at that loss rate. Okay, so he's also ahead of us in the Champions League on goal difference in 6th place. Premier League, he's lost 5 games this season. One of them was to Arsenal. One of them was to us. One of them was to Arsenal. One of them was to us. One of them was to Brentford. We've been beaten by Brentford. One of them was to Brighton. Brighton can beat anyone. Well, they're the games that he's lost. So he's lost against Brentford, Brighton, Arsenal, and us. So he's been beaten by every team that's ahead of him. And also Brighton are 6th, Arsenal are top. Obviously, we won in the last minute. There's a lot to like about Eddie Howe, if I'm completely honest. He doesn't have a huge amount of money to spend, hasn't had a huge amount of money to spend, similar to Jurgen, if I'm completely honest. Made a lot of players good, sold a lot of players for a lot of money. I don't agree with that, because if you look at last season, Okay, so let me just just to bring up the Eddie Howe point, because a lot of people keep on saying no, he's not. He's not the guy. So let me just bring up Newcastle. Okay, so we look at Newcastle last season, yeah, Premier League last season. Newcastle finished on 66 points. Yeah. Okay, if you look at the last two games, Newcastle lost their last two games. Yeah. They had an eye on winning the cup. Like, let's be honest. They sacrificed the Liverpool game at Anfield for the cup, and they lost. I think they lost against Everton, the last game of the season. If they'd have won those games, they'd have been on 70, hang on, 66, 69, 70, 71, 72. They'd have been on 72 points and they'd have finished third. Just let that one sink in, yeah? If they had have won the last two games, they'd have finished third and they'd have been right behind Arsenal. Like, Newcastle last season could have finished second. They could have finished second, seriously. But they had their eye on the cup. They had the eye on the cup. Like, they sacrificed probably 2 or 3 games to win that Carabao Cup. And as far as they're concerned, it was worth it. It was worth it. And remember, Newcastle didn't sign any players last season, by the way. Didn't sign anybody. Like, they had like some kind of embargo because they'd spent all their money on FFP. So Eddie Howe has done a fantastic job with Newcastle, if you ask me. Like, his most expensive signing was actually Isaac, which was like 3-4 years ago for 62 million. That's his most expensive signing. And he's managed to finish in the top 4, in the Champions League top 5 twice, win a cup. And did he also get to another final that he lost? I need to check that. Did he get to another final that he lost? Newcastle. So Newcastle finished 7th that season. They only finished 6 points behind Tottenham that season as well. Season before, Newcastle finished 4th ahead of us. And to be honest, Newcastle could have finished 3rd again if they'd have won some of their last games. Like, they drew 3 of their last games. And then Newcastle before that were like 11th. That was without Eddie Howe, I think. Might have been with Eddie Howe, or might have been without him. The season before that, 12th. Season before that, 13th. Actually, I don't know why it's coming up with those numbers, because I think they were in the Championship then. Anyway, so that's my bit on Eddie Howe, and Eddie Howe's only 4 points away from top 4, by the way. Just want to bring that up. That's how close the league is right now. Okay, and he's played some hard games. All right, so that's Eddie Howe. Next manager, Oliver Glasner. Okay, Oliver Glasner. Oliver Glasner, Crystal Palace, 80 games, 39 wins, 49% win rate, 23 draws, 18 losses. That's really good at Crystal Palace. I'm not going to lie. That's a really good record at Palace. Total games, 464, 230 wins, 124 losses. However, Oliver Glasner does play with a back 3. He does play with a 3-4-2-1. Okay, and I also feel this formation would work for Wirtz and for Frimpong, and also Kirkez. I think the 3-4-2-1 would make us defensively stronger. It would help Virgil van Dijk because he'd have an extra defender. And it would also help the midfield because we could use the wide left back and right back in Kirkes and Frimpong as the wide players in the midfield, or you could put Dominic Szoboszlai on the right hand side, and then the two you could use Ekitike, you could use Salah, you could use Wirtz, you could use Salah, you could even use Ekitike up front as the one, or you could use Isaac up front as the one. You've got lots and lots of flexibility, but you've also got lots of stability with the 3-4-2-1 formation. I think Glasner would be a good choice as well. Glasner would get us definitely solid again because he took over from Palace when they were a mess, fixed them straight away, like literally came in and did a fantastic job straight away. Like their win rate is 49%. That's unbelievable. Like that is really, really good. 8 wins, 8 draws, 3 losses at Palace, who don't spend any money. Like genuinely don't spend any money. They've sold Eze, they've sold Elise. Like they sell players and still keep on going. So Glasner for me is also a good choice. He's also won trophies in his past with other clubs. Like he has with other clubs. So if you look at Transfermarkt, you can actually see the trophies he's won. So he's won the Europa League, the FA Cup, the Super Cup, the Austrian Second Division, whatever that is. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I think he also got to the Europa League final twice. He's been in the Europa League 4 times. He's been in the Champions League. He's also he came second in the Austrian League. He also was runner up in the German Cup. He won the Super Cup and won the FA Cup, and obviously won the Europa League. So he's actually done bits. So Glasner for me is also a good option, a really good option. He's 51, so he's still relatively young. And I've got to be honest, like for me, like he's got a bit about him. Like he's got a bit about him where he could be a bit of a nasty fucker. Like I quite like it. And then the next guy who is a wild card, and he's also quite wild, if I'm completely honest, is De Zerbi. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get with this guy. Like he could be great, he could be shit, he could piss everyone off. I just don't know. He's a bit of a wild card, but his formation is 4-2-3-1, which suits us fine. He employs a build-up from the back, including centre-backs, defensive midfielders. He actually plays them. He uses our fullbacks and attracts pressure and then creates space. Uses an assertion high press to win possession in the opponent's half. Aims for high possession around 86% in games and a tackle ratio of around 75%. So he has numbers that need to be hit. Highest number of goals scored this season from him with 17. Over 17 shots per game. Achieves high possession as well. He draws inspiration from Pep Guardiola. Everybody does. Creates a numerical superiority in key areas on the pitch. This is also something that Arnie does, but for some reason he's just decided I'm not going to bother defending anymore, which I find a bit weird, if I'm completely honest. So De Zerbi has won. What has he done? Okay, so 89 matches. Can I have a look at how many? Oh, hang on, is that it there? Right, okay. So Brighton manager, 89 matches. Am I sharing the same screen? Yeah, I am. Okay. Okay, so Brighton manager, 89 matches, 38 wins, 20 draws, 31 losses. He used 42 players. Marseille right now, 51 games, 31 wins, 6 draws, 16 losses. He's been with them 500 days. Shakhtar, 30 games, 20 wins, 5 draws, 5 losses. Sassuolo, 120 games, 43 wins, 36. Like, I just don't know about him because of his wild personality. I don't know, but he's 46. He's still relatively young. Like, he's not 38 like Nagelsmann, but he's 46. So he's got plenty of time. I mean, Eddie Howe's older than him. He's 48, I think, Eddie Howe, and Glasner's 51. But he plays a similar type of formation, similar type of football. There's a lot of people that wanted him last time. But for me, I'm genuinely on the. So if you ask me right now, who would you want to take over from Slot? Like right now, who would you want to take over from Slot? Right now, I go Eddie Howe. And Edwards and Hughes could make that happen because they know him, they're friends with him, they've got a good relationship with him. That's the one that I'd take right now that could get Liverpool working and could probably get us into the top 4. Maybe even win the Champions League. I would go for him, and then second choice, I'd be like, look, okay, then maybe we keep Slot till the summer and then go for Nagelsmann, but then we write off this season completely, just focus on the Champions League, and then try and get Nagelsmann after the World Cup. But I think, have you actually seen Eddie Howe right now in the Champions League? Like, have you actually seen Eddie Howe in the Champions League right now? Like don't sleep on Newcastle. Don't sleep on Newcastle not ending up in the playoffs with us. Don't sleep on that. And I also want to point out as well that PSV are on a really, really rich vein of form, and they also beat Napoli 6-2 in the Champions League. So Liverpool playing PSV tomorrow is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. I think Howe could get the best out of our team straight away. And I mean, he'd get the best out of Isaac straight away because he built the team around making Isaac work. And that's exactly what you want. Like you're talking about all of these managers, like you're not talking about what is achievable. Like everyone's talking about Hansi Flick and Enrique and Zaghi and all of these. Like none of them are achievable. Alonso, none of them are achievable. Like Alonso isn't going to come in and just magically make Liverpool work. Like he plays a different system. He has different types of players. Like it's a different philosophy. Like you need someone who is pretty similar to what we've been doing for years, because that change can't just happen instantly. It can't. It has to be a gradual thing over the years. And that's the reason why we're so bad right now, is because Arnie's just gone, you know what, 2025, fuck it, I'm going all in. And it's just not worked. It's just not worked. So yeah, so that's where I am right now. I'm with a couple of Premier League managers because I think going for someone outside the Premier League could be a bit of a risk right now. But Nagelsmann, his CV is brilliant, like, and he's young and he's making Germany really cook. Like they look like a hell of a team right now. So that's my second choice. But right now, I go for Eddie Howe. I go for Eddie Howe, or I go for Oliver Glasner. Oliver Glasner, he's a cup winner. Like, he's a cup manager. Like, we're all fine with cups. Put him in a better team, you might get more out of the league. But for me, I think Arnie's got to go. Genuinely, I think he's on borrowed time now. The fact that the board have backed him makes me think that he is literally on his last game, maybe second to last game. Okay then, so that's the manager thing that I've covered. So let's talk about the preview. Ignore the numbers because this doesn't mean shit right now, because we are shit. Because we are shit. So ignore the numbers because we are shit right now. Liverpool versus PSV. Liverpool versus PSV key stats. Opta puts us at 68%. Just ignore that. 14% PSV. Arne Slot has suffered more defeats against PSV than any other side in his managerial career. Den Bosch knows how to play against Arnie. I'm just going to put that out there. And last season, he beat him as well. I'm just putting that out there. Liverpool have won each of their 13 Champions League home games in the group stage. Arnie has an ominous record against PSV that will not bring much comfort to Liverpool's side, desperately looking for a Champions League pick-me-up at Anfield on Wednesday. The Reds were thumped 3-0 by Nottingham Forest. Things are going reasonably well in the Champions League with a 1-0 win over Real Madrid, making it 3 wins from 4, with 1-0 defeat to Galatasaray representing their sole setback so far. Under fire, Arne Slot has not historically had his best of times against Eredivisie giants PSV, winning just 1 of their last 8 against them in all competitions, drawn 3, lost 4, and suffered defeat as Liverpool boss against them last season. It must be said, though, his team had already sealed a top 8 finish on the matchday 8 meeting. Indeed, against no side has Slot suffered more defeats in his managerial career than PSV. 4, level with Vente and Vitesse, and he will be desperate to turn the tide at Anfield. Thankfully, Slot, it makes for kinder reading when looking at Liverpool's home European form. The Reds have triumphed in each of their past 13 Champions League home games. Moreover, the Reds have lost just once at Anfield across the past 24 group matches in Europe. We have lost once in 24 games in the Champions League at home. This is not a record we want to have now. If we lose against PSV, then he's done. He's done for me. He is absolutely done for me if we lose to PSV. He's just done. The last time we lost was Atalanta in 2020. Slot also has several players contributing to the cause in Europe, with Wirtz, Gapco, and Szoboszlai creating 5. Wirtz is injured. Szoboszlai is probably going to play right back again, by the way, because Calvin Ramsey is not registered. Additionally, only Club Brugge 14 have recorded more direct attacks than Liverpool 12. We don't do a direct attacks, do we, anymore? When did we do that? You can probably expect goals in this one, given both the teams have scored in each of PSV's last 10 Champions League games, 22 for 23 against. Only Lazio 17, 2007, 2023, and Real Madrid 11 between 2012, 2013, 2016, 2017 have longer streaks of both scoring and conceding in the competition. There's been plenty of late action in PSV. They have scored more goals from the 86th minute onwards in the Champions League than any other team. Great. Pepe is directly involved in 5 goals in the 4 Champions League games with 3 goals and 2 assists. Liverpool still have issues at right back with both Jerome Frimpong and Conor Bradley unavailable. Wirtz would come back into contention after missing the Forest defeat with what has been described as a minor issue. Alsane Play and Ruben van Bommel are long-term absentees for PSV. PSV, that was the 3-2 last season. We were dreadful, but it is what it is. PSV have a poor away record against English opposition, winning just 1 in their last 14. Okay, so PSV have won 1 in 14 games away against English opposition. That could be a record they break as well if they beat us. Like, that would be really annoying. If we lose the 1 in 25 and they win the 1 in 14, that would not be nice either. Their sole victory was a 1-0 at Tottenham in 2007. Liverpool are considered as an overwhelming favourites with 10,000 simulations. We won 68% of them, and the Reds had a 71% chance of beating Nottingham Forest. So don't take any of that with a grain of salt. Liverpool's team: Alisson, Szoboszlai, Konate, Virgil van Dijk. It could be Gomez and Virgil van Dijk, according to rumours. With Kirkes, Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister. Please drop McAllister, please. Curtis Jones, Mo Salah. Please drop Cody now. Please drop Cody and Hugo Ekitike. Head coach Arnie Slot. Please sack Arnie Slot. PSV: Kovar, Sergio Dest, Jurdy Schouten, Jarek Garawowski, Anis Salah-Eddin, Mario Jr., Joey Verman. I think Joey Verman's a good player. Ajmal Silbari, Dennis Mann's a good player. Ivan Perisic has been really good this season. And Gus Till and head coach Peter Bosz, who's got many, many previous on Arnie. That is the preview. Score predictions for the preview. How do you think we're going to get on against PSV at home? Do you think we're going to win? Do you think we're going to draw? Do you think we're going to lose? Can you let me know in the chat? And I'll sit here and drink my cold coffee. How do you think we're going to get on? You let me know. Come on. Don't be quiet. Give me some scores. Give me some scores, please. Come on. Come on, give me some scores. Win. All right. So we got a W. Any score predictions at all? 1-1. Wow. So Wirtz is out. So Wirtz isn't going to be playing. He's not going to be in the PSV game. Gomez, potential starter for that game, according to David Lynch. Let's hope it's a 1-0 or 2-0. I don't think it'll be a 0. 2-1. 3-1. No Wirtz, no party. Good point. Good point. I'm just going to bring up the news again for Liverpool. 2 seconds. Let me just refresh that. What is the latest news? What is the latest news? Let me have a quick look. Copy. Just bear with me. I'm just going to see, because Arnie's done a press conference, I believe. Okay, so ahead of the match, Vert, Bradley, Frimpong are all absent from training. Okay, so yeah, there's no update. But there has been intensive training planned with Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk. So Canate is looking like he's getting binned 2-1 PSV. So that's us winning. Or is that 2-1 PSV winning? Oh shit, lose. Okay. Wow, I've never seen so many people that are convinced that Liverpool are going to lose. This is wild. This is dark days. Like, we have like Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk and Alisson. Like, what is going on? What is going on? Honestly, it's crazy. I don't normally ask, but I'm going to, because I'm actually quite close to 2,000 now. So I'm at 1,941 subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, can you please subscribe now? Just hit the subscribe button, okay? Let me see this rise as we talk. I'd really, really like it if I could get to maybe 1,450 on this show. There's 86, 90 of you in here. If you're not a subscriber, just please hit the subscribe button. And just check if you are or you aren't. Okay? It says it on the bottom. So if I can get 4 subscribers, that would be amazing. Yeah? Can we do that right now while we're here? Thank you who's just subscribed. I really appreciate that. Yeah, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, just hit it. It'd be really good. Really appreciate it. A bit of blue for the dads, eh? Bit of blue for the dads. Yeah, the number rising. It was the number rising. Okay, so I've got 1 subscriber. All right, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay. Anyway, I've got 7 minutes left. Shall we have a look at the tactics board? Shall we have a quick look at the tactics board and see maybe who will play and maybe where they'll play? Yeah? Should we have a quick look? Okay, so let's bring up the tactics board quickly. And let's see who will play. Okay, so this was my formation that I wanted, which never happened. Which is a 3-5-2, which never happened. Or a 3-4-3 with a diamond, which can also move into a 4-4-2 diamond, but irrelevant. That's not going to happen. Okay, so let's take Canate out. Let's put Gomez in, because this could be the lineup. Kirkes wasn't that bad against Forest, by the way. Take Frimpong out. Dominic Szoboszlai is probably going to play right back. Then you've got Gravenberch. Then you've got Jones. Then you're going to take Wirtz out because he's not fit. So you're going to put... Where's he gone? Where's Matt gone? Where's Mac? Have I lost him? Anyone see McAllister? Oh, there he is. Sorry. Then you got McAllister. Then you got Salah. Then you got Cody. And then you got Isaac. Right now, I wouldn't play Isaac. I'd play Ekatike. So I'd play Ekatike. If I'm completely honest, I'd probably play Ekatike. And I'd probably play Isaac. Right now, I'd actually try that. Like, or even get rid of Cody, put Ekatike there, put Isaac there, and then put Mac there. Right now, I'd try that. I would try something completely different now. Move Cody out. Vertus still injured. Maybe even try putting Stefan on the bench now. Like, try and get something out of Stefan, or even this, because this is PSV. Like, we should be able to do PSV. So Isaac, Ekatike, and then maybe Chiesa. Like, try that. Like, try that maybe. Like, at the end of the day, like, the tactics are just so whack right now that it doesn't matter who you play and where you play them right now. They're all shit. But if you're going to do that, then if you're going to be so hell bent on attacking, then don't play midfielders in attack. Just play attackers in attack, and go for Salah, Isaac, Ekatike, Chiesa. Like Chiesa's got 2 goals. Like Cody's been dog shit. Like, Cody's been dog shit for time. Like, just bring him off the bench. Like, try that. Like, what's the worst that could happen right now? Honestly, I genuinely don't know what's the worst that could happen. Like, all right, take Chiesa out, put Ekatike on, so you got Ekatike, Isaac, Salah. Salah's been arse as well, to be fair. And then maybe instead of Mac, play Jones and put Endo as the DM. Like, maybe try 2 actual defensive midfielders, or if Gravenberch is getting forward a lot more, then do it this way. Maybe try that. Like, Ekatike, Isaac, Salah with Gravenberch and Jones supporting, and Endo as the defensive midfielder, who's gonna be a defensive midfielder. Like, try that. Because in possession, it's probably going to be Dom, and it's probably just going to be Gomez, Virgil, and Kirkes. And Kirkes can't play that position, by the way, at all. But what you have got is you've got Endo that could drop in, or even that way around. You got Endo that could drop in there, and Gomez could go a bit wider. And Gomez is okay being out on the right, and then you got Dom in the midfield. So maybe you got Grav, Dom here, Jones here, and then you got Ekatike, Isaac, and Salah in transition, in possession, so to speak. You know, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Like, but if you're gonna have a shitload of attackers on the pitch, then maybe just have more attackers in your formation. Like, just don't have midfielders there. Put attackers there. What's the worst that can happen? Because your midfielders aren't actually doing midfield stuff, and your attackers are all too isolated. So have some attackers in the midfield area. I don't know. Yeah, he certainly did, mate. Certainly did. I know he doesn't think he's shit. Yeah. 3-4-3. Don't disagree, mate. You've just seen my tactics when I started the board. Slot presses in 5 minutes. Okay. I'm glad I'm not going to watch that. All right, and I've done an hour and 30. I'm going to forward you on to another channel. I do want to check whether I got any more subscribers though. Let me just see. Nope, I didn't. All right. If you do want to subscribe, please subscribe. I'll do a conspiracy show tomorrow night. Okay, after the game. Okay, so I'll put that in the calendar for 11 o'clock. So you'll get a conspiracy show off me tomorrow. Okay, at 11 o'clock after the game. So whether we win, lose, or draw, you'll get a conspiracy show. Okay, so if you do want to become a member, hit the membership. It's 99p. Get involved. If not, please subscribe. Please like the video. I'm going to pass you on to another channel now. You all have a wonderful afternoon. I'm going to go and help my wife clean the house. Let me see who's live. Bear with me. Let me see who's live. Who's live? Donny Sam's live now, so go and check out Donny Sam's show. Yeah, he's live now, so go and check that out. Just hit Kmack Raid. Awesome. You all have a wonderful afternoon. Take care. Peace. Bye-bye.